All right, we are live. So, hello everyone. Thanks for joining our live stream. It's a pleasure to have everyone. I believe people will still join in. So, the very first thing that I want to do in this live stream is to present our guest. Thanks, Juan, for joining me. Thanks for the wonderful topic which we agreed to disclose today because the topic is on fire. We will discuss the Game 5 industry and how basically it will transform and still transform in the world of gamification. We will cover the play to earn and actually play and earn mechanisms, like both options I've heard that are applicable for this, and some kind of decentralization and centralization hubs, which will serve in the industry as some kind of experience for users and some kind of stores that people can browse the elements of the game, buy new features, so on and so forth. So plenty of great topics which will be on the list today. So let's start basically with the very first main question. That's how you entered the industry. How was your own personal experience with Web3, with the Game 5 industry? And what's your feedback overall on it? Have you started your company and have you contributed to the industry in general?
Well, first, thanks for having me, Vitaly. Um, Actually, I started on this field because, like almost everyone, a friend of mine told me to join Axie Infinity, which is one of the oldest game on Web3. And PIXPEL started because we suffer a rock pull in another game that is from the crypto. The name is Crypto City. I believe that many people suffer a rock pool. Many people suffer rock pools on gaming, on crypto gaming, crypto mines, crypto cities, crypto cars. So we lose. I lose $20,000, and my friend he lost $60,000, and we saw a real opportunity there because we're talking about $1 billion section of the crypto, and we feel so angry about that that those guys just they just plainly create a great game, took the money and run, and the game was still running, but those guys never answer, never reply on Discord. And man, we start creating a Pixpel, the NFT insurance that will solve those problems. And Pixpel then keep evolving, and we realize that we need to implement other stuff like the wallets for the games because there is very complicated to hop on a game, to hop on a crypto game, and now, yeah, uh, the result is this. I mean, a team of people that love gaming, that love solving blockchain problems, and here we are.
No, reg pulls and scams are, quite common in the industry, unfortunately. Like we face
Mm.
plenty of all. Like, for example, some time ago, like around half a year, or slightly even more, we did a research for Poly Island because plenty of users complained that the project was reg pulled. So we have the whole article describing all this with the proofs, with the decision and basically with the suggestion how to withdraw the money which left on the contracts. And I
Yeah,
personally
yeah.
believe because I've seen this, not the very first time in the industry, and I've seen this plenty of times. Like this is not what should happen. And basically, we will also dive today, like how Game Five will transform and basically also will evolve with the security purpose as well, and how we can, get rid of rug pools and how centralization or maybe decentralization will help in such way. For example, as hubs. But before we'll dive into this and security chat about apps, I also want to pick up some thoughts about gaming industry. How do you see it right now? Because right now the traditional games are on top of the list still. Like apps, they are not trending. We are still starting. The industry is evolving, but it's not mature enough to compete with the all key players and all key games from Steam or other markets, right? And we see that, for example, some games which are trending on PCs, on Xbox or PlayStation, they are still covering plenty of countries, plenty of users. And dApps, they are not that common. So I'm interested in if GameFi industry has a chance in the nearest years to compete at equal with the traditional gaming? And how do you see this market in general?
Um, I see as the we are at the beginning of a gaming revolution. Everything have stages, and if you go back to the 50s, when the tennis game, that tennis game was created extremely simple. It was a boom. Then we go to Tetris. Really suggest you to watch the Tetris movie, and you see how it was evolving, but from a period of time of decades. And then it comes Nintendo. I believe that everything begins with Nintendo, and then it comes another consoles, and game explode from arcade to consoles, then to computer, and then the gamers start asking for more detail, for more better gaming card, the SLI gaming cards where you can connect to. And I was part of that. And uh, now that we're old, another revolution came, and it's happening, and is trying to change gaming from centralized consoles to GameFi. And when I mention GameFi, I'm trying to mentioning that GameFi is something that is pulling aside hardware. I mean, now we won't need hardware anymore. Of course, we will need a computer, we will need a phone, but it won't be related to console. From my point of view, if you see that the new generation that are playing, the kids that are playing, they want to earn money,
Yeah.
they want to earn something, they want to sell what they do with their character, they use their phones. It's different from our generation that I go onto the PlayStation and I start playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you know. Uh, so I believe that GameFi revolution, Web3 revolution. I don't know what will be actually the name in the future, because the crypto space is always changing. But I believe that it will be a boom next on the next 3 years, because the kids, the child are the one that will make this happen, and child are more evolved. They know more about finance. They know what they are doing. Twitch came to change the game. It's a great app that bring excellent players to the mainstream. We can see how kids they rocks on Call of Duty, on Minecraft, on different games. So decentralization is coming to stay, and it will have a huge impact on those big companies that are still focusing on console, on centralization. And there is something that we have to also pay attention, that is to the developer side. There are thousands, millions of developers that create their own game, but those game, no one know anything about those games, because everything is centralized. Decentralization will make those games to be mainstream, and if those games are good, are great, players will invest on those games. So the main point here is that why GameFi is not evolving, is not still booming, is because there is a barrier, and that barrier is related to how difficult it is to join. You need to have a MetaMask wallet. You need to buy an NFT. You need to move fiat to the MetaMask wallet. There are many complication, and well, because we are gamers, we create Pixel, because Pixel actually is the one that is making the things very easy for everyone to join on crypto games.
And I love how you position actually the difference in generations, because Previously, when we were playing game, we just were bound to the experience. Like we play game to receive some kind of emotions, right? To receive some kind of experience. But right now, like why DeFi actually changed the world? Because after DeFi revolution, GameFi revolution is following, and basically GameFi revolution will give some kind of emotional touch on top. Because while playing the game, I'm building something, or I created a character, or whatever, I emotionally bound to what I did. And this one of the features that I can use. I can sell this. I can trade, or I can keep as a memory, as a collectible. Like plenty of features are available right now with the comparison with the traditional gaming. And that's like how the revolution will start, I believe. And I see the chat that we're having plenty of questions. We're having plenty of also requests to talk about the NFT. And before we'll dive to NFT question, I just want to also note that we'll review the questions at the end of our conversation. We'll dedicate some time during this 1 hour stream to answer them, but some of them will be also, as I see right now, related to our topic, and basically we will cover it alongside. So, speaking about the maturity of the industry, if we compare right now the current state of the Game 5 industry in comparison with the traditional one, what year it is outside. Because you said that Tetris and all that, all games like Snakes, Super Mario, so on and so forth, they started with this experience, this gamification, and they are moving, evolving. Right now we having Call of Duty, we having Diablo, we having GTA. So it's evolved not even hundreds of times, but even more. Like speaking about Game 5 industry, what year it is in comparison, how mature we are.
Well, that's a really tough question because I believe that we are on 90s. This is this is my feeling. But we also have to be very we also have to be very specific about gaming because there are institutional games and there are let's say normal games or freelancing games. Those games that doesn't have a studio that have billion behinds. GTA, GTA is an example. GTA have billions of dollars and have a team the size of a little country, creating this amazing world that I pass to 100% 3 times. GTA 5, love that game.
Same.
Um, and there are other games that boom and it doesn't have this huge amount of marketing. So if we put those two big group of games, the institutional one and the not institutional one, they are the one that will change the game fight revolution. Let's say in this way. Right now, game five is all about non-institutional games. It's all about that. But institutions are paying attention. Ubisoft is paying attention. Square Enix is paying attention. They are looking at that. PlayStation, Sony is looking at that as well with the patent that they released soon. Yeah, it was like a month ago, 3 weeks ago. So the change between the 90s to the 2000, it will happen in 3 years. So that decade's change, it will happen from my point of view in 2 to 3 years, because when those institutional games hop on the game 5 bus, everything will change. It will become from a bus to a plane. It will be extremely fast, and they are looking at that, and they are looking at that because they know that players realize that there is a lack on the traditional gaming. As you mentioned, first it was about experience, and then right now it's about the role, it's about the bond you have with your character. And I have I have a PlayStation account and an Xbox account, and I passed GTA twice on the Xbox and once on the PlayStation. But it will be great with my only NFT. I can see, that I passed those things on my own only one user. So GameFi is solving many things that we gamers know that are the games, centralized game, are lacking of. So I truly believe that this will come on the next 3 years. It will be a huge boom when those institutional games come to the GameFi, and we will be ready for that because um, the kids, they are so fast. The childs are so fast. My daughter have 3 years old, and she she used the iPad better than me. And in this kind of evolution, it will make the gaming and everything to explode soon.
I fully agree with this. And basically, right now, even the capabilities for building the decent game is quite different. That is was in 90s, right, or early years of this century. So basically, that's why the pace of the evolution will be quite more significant and more like higher, I would say. And I also got the message here in the chat that the Rockstar Games need to get on it. And I've stumbled on one news. I'm not sure, like I haven't checked the if that's actually true, if that's some kind of leaking information it will be eliminated. But Rockstar Games and GTA, like the next edition, sixth, they are naming that it will have some kind of cryptocurrency involvement, but I'm not sure if they will do this with the play to earn experience, for example, or it will just be integrated in a game. Because as we remember, the previous editions of GTA, it has some kind of stocks. Like you can use stocks in the previous editions, right? But it was not connected to real ones. So maybe it will be also done in the next edition that you can trade some cryptocurrency or do any manipulations with this, but it will not be bounded to the real blockchain and to the Web3 world as such. So that's also a huge mystery, and plenty of debates are about this news, like how it will be structured in the game. But still, even the promotion of cryptocurrency in GTA, it will be still reflected on the market and reflected in the positive tendency. And NFTs, that's a very hot question, I would say. And plenty of people still think that NFTs can be used just as the collectibles. In Game 5, right, they are in a way of collectibles in this or that way, but they are used differently. And how do you see the role of NFTs and what's the impact of non fungible tokens in the Game 5 industry?
NFT came to stay and change the world. It's easy as that. I mean, there are no doubts that NFT will change the world, and like every game changer technology, uh, at the first stage, have flaws, mistakes, problems, like the billions of dollars scam that happened already, not just from the art, collectibles, and game, but also from problems with the system that are implemented, like let's say the ticketing system they have. I believe that NFT will be the new ticket system. There is a Argentinian airline that is implementing NFT for the tickets. Um, the system have problems, but the conception of the NFT doesn't that, from my point of view, is just perfect, at least at the moment, because it gives you something that is unique everywhere, here and everywhere. So if you implement that and on every sphere of your life, on every part of your life, is something that it will help you. I mean, it doesn't matter where you implement NFTs. NFTs, if you implement on finance, you won't need to use credit card or have a phone. If you implement an ID, you won't need to have your passport, paper passport. If you implement, almost everywhere, NFT will change it. The situation with the NFT is that there is a reluctance from the leaders, from legal system, that they don't understand pretty well about NFT, but they will. Related specifically to GameFi, I mean, is the easiest way to implement NFT. Is the easiest and the fastest way to implement NFT. NFT, from my point of view, and that's why we are on this niche market, the game. NFT will boom in a very organic and safe way on gaming, because it will give you, if you unpack the NFT on gaming, it gives you so many advantage. Dynamic NFT, a dynamic NFT that allows you to implement metadata on the NFT, where your character can level up the skills, the spells, where you can wrap different NFTs. Let's say you have a set of armor on NFT. You can wrap that set of armor with your NFT. There are millions. There are million of possibilities that you can do on gaming with the NFT. That it's like it's a, for sure, it's a game changer, and Rockstar will have to implement. It will be a must that they have to implement, and everyone will implement. To be honest, because if they don't, other will, and those million of advantage will make gamers, their customers, institutional game customers, go to other games. Why? Because you can earn. I mean, you can have your character, you can level up your character, and you can sell. I have, you just I just can imagine my Diablo character from the beginning of 2000. It was a necromancer. I got, man, a set. It was so complicated to get, and the possibilities to get that set is like you win a jackpot on Las Vegas casino. Extremely complicated. I have to play hundreds of hours to get that set complete on my necromancer. Just imagine that I can sell my necromancer from Diablo like 20 years ago, for an amazing price, just because I have that set that give you an infinite advantage against many characters. This is just one of the benefits that you can have with the NFT. Just one. There are many. I can resell the. We can create another second-hand market related to the NFT. A second-hand market. Like you buy a car, a new brand car, and then you sell a second-hand car. It's with the NFT. Right now, you can buy stuff on DM market, like a Counter Strike, but those things are not NFT. I mean, it's possible to hack, but the NFT is very complicated to hack because you have a technology behind. So NFT, I believe we can talk days about the NFT benefits just for GameFi, just for GameFi.
And actually, it is already requested by the market because last year it was the information provided by CoinMarketCap that 75% of all people who took part in the survey and who are related to GameFi industry, they told that they are willing to trade in-game assets. And obviously, NFT will help to form this asset and basically to trade it. But I have one more thing to raise, and it's a huge doubt that it will be implemented in this way in the nearest years. What I'm speaking is, we are having, for example, one game, right? And it has some kind of collectibles, it has some kind of game assets which I can trade. But it also means that once the game is shut down, like once the game is not operational anymore, I still own my assets. I can just, go to the community and praise that I created this with that character. I can still own that shield or sword. But is there any chance in the future you think that uh, it will be possibility to move my asset from one game to another game related? Like, will it be some kind of collaborations, maybe via some hubs or centralized, platforms maybe, but will it be a possibility to move one game character to another game related? For example, some kind of cat from one game will be added to, I don't know, some kind of decentralized shooter whatsoever. It sounds weird, but what shall we
It's,
do
al-
with
it's
this one?
already answered. It's already answered. Sony, PlayStation, they implement a patent for that. It's already there actually. Um, I believe that the real question, or maybe a deeper question, is like how to move that NFT between different blockchains. Sony, the patent of Sony, I believe it contains the possibility to move the character between games, and I believe that also items. Read the patents, and I saw the patent, and I believe this is already done. I know that they do I mean this kind of legal procedure because they are a big company, big institution, but everyone will implement somehow. The thing here is that how to move the character to different blockchains. I think this will be, I mean, like you will have an NFT that it will work in different games across the blockchains that game will implement. Because right now, games are building on top of blockchain. But in the future, game will have blockchain. Axie Infinity is one. Running, they create their own blockchain. And this will happen in the future. So I believe that if we project this scenario on the coming years, that every game will have his own blockchain, is like how that NFT that is your character will be a universal profile that can fit on every blockchain. And answering that question, I think it could happen if someone can discover that. But we can dream, and we can make this dream happen. And I would like to see that in the future, that this NFT, this universal NFT, can be in different games across the whole blockchain that it will be created.
And can you name any like examples with the traditional games? How in the well-known games the NFT would contribute, like how it will revolutionize the current traditional games. Like for example, the FIFA or GTA, right? Like, what's the purpose of having the NFTs and collectibles? And for me, as the gamer, as the user, what benefit I will receive in such case?
I bought an apartment on GTA, in GTA 5 for, I think it was $500. I have to buy a lot of tickets by that apartment, and it's amazing apartment. And I would love to sell that apartment. NFT will allow me to do that. Why? Because I'm not playing the Xbox anymore. Because I give my Xbox to my brother-in-law. He's using the Xbox, using the PlayStation, or maybe I would like to use that apartment on my PlayStation profile. There's so many things that I can have. So many benefits with just the NFT. Countless. I just mentioned the selling point, but also about what we do as gamer is like to have fun. And when we have fun, we want to see what we did having fun. So I have a character that I spend month playing that character, and I want to show. And when we talk, I want to tell you, yeah, this is my character. The NFT will allow me to do that swift. Yeah, this is my character. I just shared with you. You don't need to log in on the game, and show you that, or maybe we just log in on the game at the same time, connect to the same place, and yeah, this is my character. No, the NFT will make it extremely fast. Just your profile, the NFT is there. You see all the stats, all the history, everything related to NFT, and that's it. This is the fun part. There are how many billion of ways that.
So it means all the stolen cars in GTA, which are in my garage, right? They can be still formed as the NFTs and being resold on the market. That's a great opportunity for the regular user. I get the point. And let's speak about play to earn experience. Like all the gamification, and actually the industry in general, they provide the play to earn experience for the users. And that's also quite doubtful questions because we face the facts that some people they are not interested in the game as such. The game is quite primitive, but it gives the profit, right? And I just want to earn some funds. So some investors also may face this issue because even if you have a large community and everyone playing, not sure if the game is quite enjoyable and will be scalable in the future, maybe with the second, third editions, right? But if that's only the purpose to earn funds. So in general, how do you find play to earn experience and how it will revolutionize the industry? And if we need to implement some kind of additions to the regular models of play to earn in order to make the game more playable by the regular users.
Well, the word play to earn is it have a bad it have a stigma because so many rock pulls and rock sleep happen. In
Exactly.
the rock sleep is when a developer have a good intention and the game just bankrupt. And the majority of the time, this happened because the tokenomics model is not proper design related to the way that you are earning on the game. And this is something simple. I mean, if you see the real economic, you can see that there are always cycles. In Minor Keynes, he defined that economic have cycles up and down. So games must have also cycles, but those cycles must be related to how the game, when the game is going down, it have a spin to go up. And the problem is that the developers, with all due respect, they are not economists. And when they implemented the tokenomics models, they don't pay attention to scarcity, they don't pay attention to demand, they don't pay attention to that NFTs, digital asset, must have a depreciation in the market if you want to have an organic market growth. It happened in economics. I mean, if you buy a new car in normal, if you buy a new car, when the car goes out of the agency, automatically 20% of the price is cut. Why? Because it's not new anymore. That's it. NFT need to have that dynamic, to depreciate on the game, repair, implement those things that it help the game to get a monetization, not just because selling the NFT. And I believe that games in the future, when they are more advanced, their main source of income won't be selling the NFT. This is actually how an organic game, a good game, have to be. I mean, they have an income not just because I sell what I have. It's because the dynamic of the game are so great that you hook the gamers on the game and they want to spend on the game. Let's go to a traditional gaming. I mean, Call of Duty. They spend a lot of money on the battle pass and buying the skins for the guns and stuff like that. I spend why? Because I love that game. The main source of income of Call of Duty is not just a membership. Are those extra things that you buy on the game? Are the tournaments they do? They can earn a lot on e-sport platforms. And so I believe that play to earn, play and earn, play for fun, play and fun. Yeah, those are like the new um, genders of the Web3 gaming. Right now, we split on role playing gaming, on arcade gaming, like that. On Web3 games, we will categorize, will be organized, of course, as that because it's the source of the game, but also with that special Web3 or GameFi categories which are related to earning, because earning is the most important part or one of the most important part of GameFi. I believe that it will be like this.
It will definitely, and it comes also like the question in mind. If you're speaking about play turn, if you're speaking about all these game experience tournaments, so on and so forth, that it's even difficult to find a perfect game for me. Like when I'm browsing all the internet across to find a suitable dApp, right, a suitable game, there is no such plenty of places which are gathering all that materials for the user. So in traditional gaming, I can go to the store and to buy a specific game I want on Steam, for example, or Origin, right? On the mobile gaming, I can go to App Store or Play Market and choose whatever I need to, whatever I want to. And speaking about GameFi industry, how this can be transformed into one solution, because everything is quite chaotic right now, I would say, to be honest. Like I know that you're also involved
Yes.
in this industry and also, know its inner sides, right? But for me, it seems chaotic, to be honest, and it's difficult to find something perfect and to, something that match your interests. So how do you find a good solution and how to transform the whole industry in one way to have a centralized or decentralized hub, right? And how this hub should operate?
Well, Vitaly, you put this very easy for me. The reason is PIXPEL. It's as
How big,
easy as that. Why?
but
Okay. Let's see in this way. You go to the store and you buy a game. You go back to your home. You get that game. You put it on your Switch or on your PlayStation. Play. That's it. You have fun. You go to the App Store. You download that game for free, and then you have to buy stuff in the game if you want. If you don't want to be behind the other users, it's very easy. Right now, it's a nightmare. It's not talking about the crypto game. It's a nightmare. Why is a nightmare? Because all those procedures we have to do in order to hop on a game. I mentioned at the beginning, you have to create a wallet. Then you have to put crypto on that wallet. Then you have to buy the NFT. And then you have to play on the desktop. This is the most horrible thing. I mean, I play games on my phone. I play games on the program of the PC of the computer that get the most of my graphic card, of my sound card. But the majority of the game are on the web, are web based. And with Pixpel, you just need to open one account, and that account will have the wallet and will have options to exchange peer-to-peer money. To move the funds from the fiat to the crypto with another person's service. A platform, a platform will be the one that will make this revolution happen, but not a platform. This is the kind of platform because when we launch Pixpel, we hope that there will be another platform that will have our benefits, something that it will allow the gaming to boom, like Nintendo, like PlayStation, like Xbox. The competition is the one that make things better. but we need to start with one platform, and the majority of the platform, they are focusing just on NFT marketplace and organizing esport game, which is okay, but it's not enough because you are not solving the main problem, which is how do I join in a very fast way a game. Sometimes I just want to play a game because I'm waiting in a Starbucks for someone I want to get onto a game because on Instagram I saw the ads, and I like it. And then I want to do it fast because maybe after an hour I won't like this game anymore because it will take time of my life, because when we play we feel sometimes remorse, we're playing and we're not with the family, or we're not working like that, so we want to do it fast. We want to enjoy that hour we have fast, and platforms are not paying attention to that. They are not exploiting that thing, that way of thinking of the gamers. And after you hop on a game, you want to feel safe. This is another thing that platforms are not paying attention to. So if you're buying this game, you want this game run, for a period of time. But how do you know that this is gonna happen? The platform are not doing KYC. The KYC procedure are very superficial. Their procedures are not pay attention to tokenomics, which is a very important part of games. So when we fix this, I believe that we will definitely kill GameStop. Definitely. GameStop, the famous store that.
Yeah, it's quite famous across the US. Like, not sure about all the rest of the countries, but definitely in the US. So I also, I was about to ask about the security aspect, because if a user wants to get the game, even spontaneously, right? They need to make sure that the game is not rag pull potential one, right? Or the game is not a scam. So in general, if I'm entering the App Store and any other stores, I have the trust to this platform. And I was about to ask how this centralized or decentralized platform will ensure trust. You mentioned the QIC, right? But is the QIC the only solution which will be required for the game developers in order to enroll its project to the platform? Or maybe there are also some kind of other mechanisms that you're, providing in PIXPEL, or maybe some other companies already provided on the market. So how do you see this point?
Yeah, this is a good question because this question it will is related to the 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 way of think, the way of choose game for the next generation of gamers. Uh, Let me give you an example. Right now, when you get onto a game, you check the graph of the game, the dynamics of the game, logistic of the game, and you hop on the game. I'm talking about when you get onto the console and I'm going to buy a $20, $60 game. Okay, let me check. When you are on the phone, the majority of the time is because of advertisement or friends. Um, but when GameFi, when you go to the GameFi section, the mind is not just related to the game. It's also related to what you mentioned. Is safe. Uh, how I'm going to earn? I could earn something. I can sell my character somehow. Yeah, you want to have fun, but you also have the mindset of spending and earning. Um, so this is something that it will be related to standards. And in Pixpel, we're trying. We of course we're trying because is trying to implement our Pixpel standard that will help people to know in a fast way if this game have a certain amount of security and reliability to get on the game, to join the game. So on the on the lobby of the game, users will be able not just to see if we do the KYC and how the KYC process is done, but also they will be able to see if the smart contract are being audited, if those tokens are, let's say, not a honeypot scam or a smart contract that are not dumb contract, and they will be able to see the on the lobby how the tokens are moving, the liquidity pool, from the perspective of a gamer, of a crypto gamer as me. When I see a game, I see the lock pools. All the games have pools that are related to the liquidity, to the tokenomics. And you want to know if those guys are not draining that pools. Because the scam that I suffer, those guys drain those pools with bots. They took cents every minute, cents. And in a period of a month, if you're taking cents every minute, you take millions. And this is normally the scams that do. So you can see on PIXPEL on the lobby, you can see the graph. I mean, these lock pools are really locked, or they are draining it slowly in a period of time. What is the liquidity of those pools? And you can see, constantly, because that information is on the blockchain. But yes, it's on the blockchain, but you are not going to play a game and always pay attention to how is the pool of this game. You need to see in a very easy way. Just get onto the lobby and see, okay, yeah, the graph of the pool is not going down, it's keeping, it's flat, because this is a pool that is giving kind of value to the game itself. So this is a way, I mean, to implement standards on the game. I mean, it cannot, from my point of view, all those rug pulls and scams are making crypto technologies to evolve, are making crypto users to evolve on the mindset,
Yeah.
and implementing standards is the way to understand more and help people that are not so on the crypto space to understand in an easier way what they are joining, and they can join peacefully, relax. This is the way. I mean, not all decentralization, not all centralization, just a middle point between that, implement regulations. And that is where technologies like Concordium blockchain is helping, because show, we really need to show to the people that there is someone behind those transactions. This is when these amazing technologies like Concordium blockchain make things happen. You can feel safe that if something happened, at least I will know who is the one that is scamming me. And on
And
the other hand, it will have anonymity. Yeah, sorry, I did not hear you.
also, I would definitely know whom to contact. And basically, that's all the point that we need to implement in the industry. I like the comment that we have in our chat that it should be done like Apple iOS apps, right? Because in such
Right.
way, even the QAC is not the perfect solution, because QAC is the high level verification first of all, and also QAC is also just a collectible of data just for the future cases if something happens. But in general, if the rug pull happened and the team is anonymous, for example, it will be quite difficult to, press charges and basically to take the money back. So as what I see from, the experience on the high level, quite fast, what I can brainstorm on the list is just the first one. The team should not be anonymous. We should definitely know who is the founder of the project and who also develops the project, because in such way, if the identity is confirmed by PIXPEL or any other app which has the similar functionality, right, I definitely know basically who is standing on the back of this or that project. Also, the audit. Audit is not only about security, but the operational ability, Because if I'm playing the game, I don't want my tokens or assets to be locked somewhere, especially if some bridges are used, for example, some oracles are used, and so on and so forth. And all this also gives the hacker a possibility to penetrate the contract, also to get some value in tokens stolen, for example, or in game assets stolen. So the audit should also be in place. And the third one is the KYC, of course, because we also need to collect some data. But that's not all. I would also will suggest from the security standpoint to have some kind of tokenomics review and to have some kind of architecture review. And if all these standards basically points to form in one standard, and each every platform which will have the same idea to have the hub, game hub, and be like the store for the apps, they need to take the advantage of it. But from the other standpoint, all these things which you recently mentioned, that's some kind of centralization. Because if you're using QAC, that's definitely a centralization part. If you are not having anonymity, that's also will be disputable by some kind of users who are coming to blockchain for the sake of anonymity of the funds, assets, so on and so forth, right? And that's like the chicken or egg question. Should all these platforms be centralized or decentralized? Because blockchain is all about decentralization, but if you're speaking about security purposes and to have a feeling that everybody is secured in the hub, in the platform, we also should take care of centralization. So how do you envision, the disputes between centralization of the platforms like this or decentralization, and on which side PIXPEL basically stands?
Um, I would love to see decentralization, 100% decentralization. I would love, but we, as a society, we are not ready to do that. Um, and when I mention society, it's not related about the technology. It's about us. It's about the humans. I mean, you can make a technology as good or as bad as the one that is implementing is using that technology. So decentralization, so far, it cannot be 100% neither centralization because FTX and other bad projects show that centralization it cannot be the path. It cannot be the path. And the scam show to the people that decentralization also cannot be the path, the only path. So there must be a regulation between, but the regulation must be related not to the hub itself. It's about the perception of the user. Let's say Vidma implements security, and Vidma is a wine-known company that implements security. So the Vidma logo is on that game. And we have another company that implement KYC. That company is reliable. That company logo is implemented on that game, on the lobby of PIXPEL. We have another company that is focused on tokenomics, analytics, and auditing. And people know that this company is reliable. Okay, that logo is there. When you go into the game, you want to see that this game have those logos on the lobby. As a gamer, you're not going to dig. You're not going to get into the smart contract. Oh no, I saw a honeypot on the coding, or no, those guys are based in this part that is doing a scam. No.
But
As I
shouldn't
mentioned,
do as a requirement before I list to the platform?
of course, it have to be a requirement. But if you don't let the people get onto the platform fast, you will get onto the centralization side. So the whole problem here is that some generations, some generations, they like to see more centralization on the blockchain. Normally, those generation are the eldest generation. I'm sorry, but I'm including there. And younger generation want decentralization. Why? Because they create their games as well, and they just want to put the game on this platform, and they want people see the game. So if you implement one or another, you are getting on the mistake of that only one path that is proven and is not correct. The best way, from my point of view, is to let the games hop on the platform without any logo. Just put your game, create the game on PIXPEL, put it on the lobby, and the game doesn't have any distinction. It doesn't have KYC, it doesn't have a smart contract auditing, it doesn't have tokenomics auditing, and you have to warn to the people that this game is not being tested, is not being audited by anyone, but is there, is on the platform. It's your choice. It's your choice to use it or not. But let's say that you do the Vidma do the smart contract auditing. Okay, the logo is there. Oh, at least I can feel safe that this smart contract are audited. In the crypto games, the crypto space, it will be for future generations that will pay attention to those things, and it will understand that there is a risk always, because you are also on the game fight. And when you say fight, you are talking about financial, and everything related to financial, it have a risk. It doesn't matter how, it have a risk. If you have money, you can lose the money in a million of ways, but you can lose. So we have to let the people to advance their way that they are analyzing, they are paying attention to the games, and let them choose. Otherwise, you will be another centralized platform like PlayStation, like Xbox, that we don't want. I mean, I love Xbox, I love PlayStation, I use them sometimes every day, some weeks every day. I really love them, but they are not the future. They are not. They are not the future 100%. Because because how you can let an AI game creation tool to post his game on PlayStation, on or Xbox is impossible. If an AI create a game, it needs to pass through human auditing and marketing, a million
Yeah.
of procedures to be listed and to people know about that game. And AI is doing amazing stuff. Amazing. Let's talk about a freelancer. I created a game when I was a kid on Visual and Visual Basic. How I'm going to make this game be on the mainstream? It's impossible. It's really impossible. I need to go through all the bureaucracy of PlayStation and Xbox in order to be able to list my game. It's all about bureaucracy. So blockchain come to stay because it's destroying the bureaucracy things. So we have to let people to list their game, to post their game, and if people like it, just play it. And if you don't feel safe with that game, don't play. Wait until the game is safer, or put a little money on that. This is my point of view.
I believe you should have both because actually it's same kind of centralized, decentralized exchanges, right? Like every specific segment of the market will build out if we need to use centralized one, decentralized one. But as the user, I most likely will use decentralized hub like that, because or the combination of both in this or that way. Because if I will be damaged if something happens within the game, I can contact, for example, PIXPEL or any other teams that, guys, I have the proofs and something went wrong. And please check that this or that project actually scammed me. And with these proofs, like, all the legals, basically legally charges can be pressed to the company who made the scam or rug pull. And that's like also a great step towards the bright future Web3. And I believe we can go with the list of questions to answer them pretty short. If you have any questions, because I see the chat right now is booming and we have a long read here, so it will be difficult to distinguish the questions right from this long chat. If you have any additional questions to Juan or me, drop them in the chat right now, and I'll pick them up to the screen, and we'll have a very brief and quick Q&A. I see the question from Anastasia. The Web3 gaming is quite early as the part of blockchain industry. So what do you think is missing there to move gamers from Web2 to Web3 gaming? And that's a tough one. Like basically that's the strategy, how to embrace new communities from Web2, right? So what's the recipe for that?
Um, yeah, it's a tough one, but um, let's go to the obvious part. The obvious part is how easy to hop on the game. As we talked before, you want to hop on the game of the on the Apple Store, you just download for free and then you pay. This is the method. On the PlayStation, you just go on the PlayStation game store and buy the game. That's it. It's very easy. The first barrier that Web3 gaming is having is that is is a whole complication, the MetaMask, the procedure. And then there is the security stuff because people want the game to keep running. I'm not just talking about earning; is want the game to keep running. So it needs some kind of certainty that this game is back somehow and it will be running on the mid-term, long term. It depends on the game as well because some games are just for short term. And the third one is the quality of the game. The quality of the Web3 gaming is very low. Well, Illuvium is a beautiful game. You really need to try. Illuvium is amazing. And I believe is the first amazing game that is related to Web3 gaming. It's beautiful. And the quality is something that doesn't let the traditional gamers to get onto Web3 gaming. But it will come soon because, as I mentioned before, we have Ubisoft, Square Enix joining, and when those brands are joining, man, something's going to happen. Something because man, I really love Assassin's Creed. I play all the Assassin's Creed and I pass 99%, 100%. So when I saw that Ubisoft is hoping on Web3 gaming, I was so happy about that. Seriously, I
I
think
also
those three things.
I
Mhm.
also see one great comment as the suggestion from Eric. So that's the rating for PIXPEL. So users can still play the game, they have poor rating, but there is no barrier to entry for the game to producers. Like in fact, the game producers will be motivated to get higher ratings, but that's their choice internally. And that's also a great suggestion. Have you considered such ratings to be implemented to PIXPEL?
Yeah, actually, on the lobby there are stars and our comments, of course. Yes, I mean, yeah, Eric, you are so certain about this because if we go to the decentralization, we need community to decide. And what is the best way to decide? Commenting and ratings. This is the best way. And yes, there are stars in the lobby. The thing of that, it can be a double-edged sword, but again, we cannot be the one that decide the fate of a game. We are just a hub, and as a hub and as a platform, we connect them and we monitor some stuff, but we cannot get onto them itself. Yeah, rating is
That's
yes. Mm-hmm.
So I believe we do not have any comments. The very last question before we'll drop out and say bye to everyone. What's your top 5 favorite games? Just the names. All
Oh,
time. And that's maybe the most complicated question during our live
It's-
stream today.
yeah, I mean, if you are a gamer like me, that I'm playing since a very little kid, uh, Prince of Persia was one of the first graphic game I play. Uh, man, it's so complicated. I mean, if we, I can segment this on stages. If we talk about computer DOS game, very old one, that you have to run on DOS, Prince of Persia, first one. And if we go forward, like more advanced game, the first one that it really changed my life, I was a kid, it was Wolfenstein. I have to run on Windows 3.1. And then it comes the revolution of the sports games. FIFA 94, it changed my life. I played so many hours when I was a kid. And then it comes to me the revolution of the role-playing gaming, uh, Zelda. Zelda on Nintendo. I really spent a lot of time playing Zelda. And talking about um, these advanced games, these new generation games, there's so many. But I can say that Assassin's Creed is my favorite, and GTA.
I feel,
Those,
I definitely feel you, especially with the last name. GTA is, it was, great memories playing all these editions. Like I passed all of them, and that was memorable.
yeah,
Everyone,
yes,
I want to thank you for joining this live stream. It was a great chat. We covered like the hot topic right now, and I believe the game industry has the prominent future. And I believe
it
this
is.
future
Yes.
will be quite very soon, especially with all these revolutionary things which are happening in the industry. So thank you once again. It was a pleasure.
Pleasure is mine.
Have a great have a great day ahead. And thanks everyone for watching this live stream. If you have more questions, drop them to the comment section. We will answer them after the stream. And thanks for being active. Thanks for putting the questions on the chat. This stream also will be recorded and on YouTube if somebody wants to, recheck this or that part. So thanks everyone. Have a great day ahead, and
Good day.
till
Bye.
the future times.